And there we have Jaychalke and Azuly off, both starting in the series. And going down to meet our nemesis. Meeting our nemesis Ridley for the first time. A little quick peek. And there we can see the baby. And there we have him, Ridley, the nemesis we all know. And you can see both runners here are not interested to try to kill Ridley at all, because the fastest strat is simply, as they're doing, take damage. And we are both runners are now escaping series. Both runners have escaped. The RNG and the smoke was nice to them both. Especially the last room can be challenging with the steam. But both of our runners handle that with no problem at all. And we will be now heading down to Zeebs, where most of the action will be happening. So I can take some small stats now in the beginning. Jaychalke at our left has a PB of 1 hour and 5 minutes and 45 seconds. And Azuly has a PB of 52:11. And they both got them pretty recently. Azuly got it at the 1st of August, so that's just a short while ago. You see both runners heading down the climb. Just neck and neck. Heading down to the first major item of the game, the morph ball.
Yep.
And there we have it, heading down to get the first pack of missiles.
Thank you for that follow, Gigantor. Hopefully that didn't show up on screen.
And both of the runners will now be heading back up again.
Oh, I gotta mute myself. I'm so sorry.
You can see both our runners is heading up the climb, and both are using the wall climb methods. There's two methods to traversing this room up: is using ledge grabs or using the wall jump. They don't differ that much at all. So use what you prefer. You can see Azulyno is now heading into Bomb Torizo and picking up the second major item of the game, the bombs. And Jaychalke heading just straight behind. Nice kill there. Probably high-fiving on the way out there. You can, if you look, if you notice it, you can see that Azuly, it's a hard sound to make, sorry. Is actually angling the arm cannon diagonally up and down. This is a trick called arm pumping, which actually for every time you switch, every time you like do the every time you press the diagonals, you will actually get pushed one pixel further, and by that actually move faster. You can also see Jaychalke was actually also doing the same thing called arm pumping. And there you have him, Azulyno heading down the elevator to Brinstar to pick up the supers. And this is the first sequence break you will see, because you're actually supposed to have a speed booster here to actually traverse the bridge there, but by going into Morph Ball at the same time as you hit the ground, you actually keep your momentum, and by that you get a much higher speed than you normally have in a ball, and in that way you're actually able to cross it. Both runners got the mock ball with no problem. You can see they're picking up charge beam. And don't worry if you think that Azuly got this locked in a box with this lead. Don't worry. This is not decided at all. So now we will see the major route divergence between the routes, and you can see that Azuly is setting up for going down for the PDR, also known as the old route, which I believe both of the runners will do. And that will make it a lot easier for us to follow their progress and to know who's ahead or not. You can see that Azuly is heading into Kraid Slayer. To fight our biggest nemesis, biggest is in size, Kraid. And there you can actually see that Jaychalke is actually picking up Spacer. And this will increase his damage. And the hitbox of the beam. And you can see that Azulyno was setting up for the great quick kill and got it with no problem. And getting the Varia suit. By using the charge beam and then firing off a super at the right when the mouth is partially open, you lock the mouth in in that position. And if you fire additional supers in to kill Kraid, you skip the phase where he goes into his face when he fills the entire room. Picking up Kraid E-Tank. Good choice, good choice. This is it's one of the optional E-Tanks. Some runners do not pick them up, some runners do pick them up. I do agree with certainly that that's a good idea though. Especially in a race. And we wear a suit, no freeze, no problem. There we got the high jump. High jump boots makes us jump a lot higher. Makes traversing a lot of rooms a lot easier. In my opinion, one of the best items in the game, actually. You can see her Azulyno is trying to get I think he was hoping to get an additional super. And I'm not disagreeing with him on that. You can see Jaychalke is actually picking up the Kraid tank. Good choice, good choice. There we have the biggest enemy of them all, Bubble Mountain. And Azulyno has no problem traversing it. That cack attack on top of that mountain can be quite the troll. Please farm. Please farm. Yes, no problem. The reason why I was hoping he was gonna farm was because at the bottom of this path, there's a door to open to get into the speed booster item, which you need either 5 missiles or 1 super for. But the bugs were happy and actually gave the drops we needed, no problem. But there are actually a pack of missiles above the door. Oh, we even got to see them. And we will see, he said now going ahead to one of the other bigger sequence. Of course, we have sequence break. here and there. Don't worry, don't worry. But one of the other major sequence break is actually here right now, where you can see that Azulyno is now heading into the pre-wave room. The first part of the room, you don't need anything special, just don't go through the platforms and stuff. No problem there. Picking up the missiles, but then the second part of this room is actually a place where you're supposed to have grapple beam, but with just a jump, it's allowing a wall jump, no problem. And there we got the wave beam. Cool debuffs there on the spikes there. We can see. We can see now also heading up. Speed boosting through Frog Speedway, and then he's gonna head up, back up to Brinstar, and make his way to the red ship. But he's opting to pick up Ice Beam. Not a bad choice. He's actually making the climb up the red tower easier. Because then you are able to actually freeze the waivers and not having them to troll you. You can see him picking up the Ice Beam there. And Jaychalke got the speed booster. Oh, also they're setting up for the ice escape. Oh, no problem there. Getting that mock ball out of there. There you can see him heading up into the elevator up to Brinstar. Oh. Setting up for the Alpha Spark, you can see. Oh. The Alpha Spark is when you shoot that one and then they spark through this room and into the next one. Nice executed. Oh, freeze there. Up the red tower. This part of the red tower is getting a lot easier when you have an ice beam. But before Azulyno will make his way to the red ship, he will pick up another item. Mainly the power bombs. Which we need to open a door. See him turning off ice there. Probably to set up for the X Factors on Fantoon. crossing the moat, no problem. Oh. Sadly, tiny bit too low there. But that can be fixed. And we'll see another spark across the West Ocean. Bonking there at the little edge there is not a fault at all, if that's something that crossed your mind. No, it's not. It's actually a way to conserve energy. You can you actually trade a little piece of trade small bit amount of time to conserve a bit of energy instead. Now we will see Shulny heading into Fentoon. You can see him having power bomb selected, so and he actually turned off ice, so this has a huge chance of meaning he's gonna do X Factors. We can explain what X Factors are. X Factor is a special beam attack. You need to have charge, you need to have wave, and only those two enabled. And then you charge up your beam. Then you crouch while you have power bomb selected, and then it will fire off 4 particles. And they deal a huge amount of damage. They do require a little bit of positioning. By the way, I gotta correct myself. You don't need to crouch, by the way. But they do deal quite a bit of damage. This was a fine executed fight right there, and Fentoon is dead. $60 energy left means he will not get health bomb. That is sweet. So Jaychalke is heading to get power bombs. And there we have it. The second super missile pack. And we will make our way up the wreck ship. We will get up into the attic, and we will It's a notorious room, this attic. But this is not a problem at all. So you'll see Azuly now heading towards bowling and gonna grab a various suit before heading down to Meridia. Jaychalke charging up, and oh, that was a super. This is interesting. Oh, he's getting the ocean fly. By shooting that super and getting that door open, you are able to now spark across the entire moat, or technically half the moat, and then the entire West Ocean. That was very nice. He will make his way down to Fentoon, while Sulny is now on the bowling chorizo, heading down to Gravity Suit, also known as the time to check Tinder, according to Christofalo. They are both runners are doing the same route. Braid, Fantune, Dragon, and Ridley, also known as the old route. There we see Jaychalke is actually unequipping Ice and Spacer to be able to set up for X Factors. Just to clarify, you are actually watching the Super Metroid 2018 Any% tournament. The match between Jaychalke and Azuli. This is we are still in the group stages, so they are both in the Shack Tool group. So we have that little piece of information there. Fantune can be quite the troll at times, but I believe in Jaychalke. He can do this. Got unlucky there on the X Factor particles, and the X Factor particles is kind of special because as long as they are active, if they do not hit anything, you can't shoot. So either you gotta wait for their timer to expire so they get removed, or they have to hit something. And there, Azuly is making his way into Meridia. You can see Jaychalke that they're firing off the super that kills Fantune. And you can say, yes, you don't want to really fire a super at Fantune because that enrages him. But as long as that is the last projectile that hits him and kills him off, then that's not an issue at all. And then Fantune was dead. So he's making his way to another trolley nemesis, Batwoon. Jaychalke picking up his second pack of super missiles. Actually, the pack of super on the other side is the second super pack you pick up in Hendo. There we have Batwoon. That was a sweet opening, actually. And Batwoon being a troll as usual. But a pretty quick fight anyway. This was nice. You have the E-Tank. And now we can see he might stop and farm on the other side here before entering the next room or not, depending on what he's going to do on Dragon. He's actually returning to farm. There. And what he's looking after is actually supers. And you can see, they're not that bad. I'm actually surprised. I've never seen that one before. Turning off Gravity Suit while having a Shine Spark charge and then jumping up to set up the full Hafi. That's something I never seen before. That is surprising. That's awesome. So cool. I like tech I haven't seen before. So This might be a combination between speed booster and supers. Who knows? Who knows? Might be. Might be. Jaychalke is at the same time now heading down with the help of with bowling Chorizo down to pick up gravity suit. You see, Ridley is now killing the towers at Dragon, and he looks to be testing out some sparks. So I guess we will see a combination there between both, probably maybe X factoring, short charging, and some projectiles. Some frying there. There's also a few other methods of killing Dragon by using the grappling beam, but we do not usually pick up grappling beam in any percent. Then you can actually attach to the electrical outlets on the side there, while being grabbed by Dragon. He's being quite a troll right now, swooping super fast. There's backing his gooping face, and ooh, so close. And there's dead. And he got the blue suit. Sweet. Blue suit is something you get if you spark into Dragon and killing Dragon at the same time. Because when Dragon dies, you get forced into a specific pose, while you technically still sparking, means that your spark is stored. And that's why you're still having the speed echoes. So you can't press the run button, because that will remove it. But as long as you don't touch the run button, you actually have a shine spark stored. So by just pressing down, as you see him did just then, you can activate it and use it to do the reverse full feed. Oh, and Jaychalke being unlucky with not having a power bomb to actually get the tube broken. But he will figure that out. And you can see that Azuly is now making his way to Plasma Beam. One of the traits of Allrout, in my opinion. Plasma Beam is an interesting piece of beam, as we will see shortly. That it is so long, and it can hit an enemy multiple times, actually, depending on direction and where the enemy hitbox. Usually, if you fire upwards or diagonal. There, Azuly is picking up the Plasma Beam. And killing the pirates with no problem. And a fun fact is that the game actually treats all charged beam at the same time. So those pirates in that room can't be killed by charged plasma. You can only kill them by uncharged plasma. And Jaychalke entering the Frog Speedway, a good choice there to farm some power bombs, because they have nearly guaranteed drop rate on the power bomb. And the plasma beam deals quite a lot of damage also. So it's quite the upgrade from the wave beam. A charged ice wave and plasma shot actually deals 900 damage. Which is just 100 damage less than the hyper beam does. Now we can see that Azuly is heading down to, making his way down to Lower Norfair. Jaychalke is getting trolled by that annoying fish. Jaychalke opting to pick up another Super Weasel pack, and this one ain't that off the way actually, so it's not a bad choice. If you want more supers. You see us only navigating the ocean dive room with no problem. They're hitting the elevator down to Lower Norfair, activating both ice and wave on the way down. Now comes the question: Will we see traversing off the fast pillars room with a spark or with power bombs? And he sets up to do a short charge. This is a nice trap, by the way. Using this space jump and the speed echoes to break the block. And Jaychalke is on the troll. Our little bot wound there. He's being annoying as always. And then he's down, no problem. And Plasma has another nicety to it, with that you can actually, if you shoot an enemy like the Key Hunter, like Azuly just did, is that you can shoot the Key Hunter. If you shoot it right before you technically hit the Key Hunter, the iframe will do it so you don't take damage. You can actually go through the enemy. One of the other niceties. Of this plasma beam. You can see that Jaychalke is also opting to farm. Same spot. Certainly did. Mr. A is making his way down to Ridley. And Jaychalke getting the Huffy. See how Ridley is going to treat us today. should I say, Enmet had a little less fortunate meeting earlier today, so I hope this one will go a lot better. Yeah, he is a big jerk. So, he got there and he jumped into the claws and get picked up, and then Ridley dies. Sweet! No death allowed for our runners. He's picking up the Eat Ridley tank. Yeah, and I gotta correct myself. With what Black Elite John says is that yes, you actually get the blue suit even while you're not. As long as when Dragon get killed, as long as you're in a spark, you don't actually need to spark at the Dragon, and even you get the blue suit. But that would be really cool, actually. And Dragon is dead. So now we will see Azulyno is now heading towards G4. He's gonna make his way out of Lower Norfair, all the way to Norfair, up, touching into Brinstar, and then jumping into Meridia, and then getting out again at the upper Red Tower, for making his way to Criteria and G4. Probably say where we will see Jaychalke is actually gonna make his way down to Norfair, and Lower Norfair to fight Ridley. I guess it's this. I actually don't hear it. I guess you're meaning the music that actually now plays on the stream is the mini boss music, and yes, both Botwoon and Spore Spawn is actually using the same music in this game. But it's actually not that noticeable. You see, Jaychalke is heading to get his plasma beam. I gotta correct myself earlier and saying yes, he's gonna pick up the plasma beam before heading down to Lower Norfair. You actually see Spore Spawn in 3 categories: map completion, 100% map completion, mini boss RTA, and Spore Spawn RTA. And Hendo if it's an incentive to do Spore Spawn, like it was at ESA. Plasma Beam, and Jaychalke just picked up the Plasma Beam, upping up his damage. Both runners are now actually in Meridia. They are pretty far away from each other in that sense. And it's only having the super required here for the gate. That's sweet. Killing the red fish. And Azulyno has now made his way to Criteria. He's gonna wave to the ship before continuing on. Sweet breaking of the blocks there. You can see Azulyno is heading his way into G4. Just out into the next room here, you'll see G4 and the statue, also known as the statue room, where he will have a short break while he's watching the statues do their thing. And Jaychalke is making his way down to Lower Norfair. Oh, I need to correct myself again. You mean the horizontal bomb jump practice room and not the G4. It's called the Golden 4. Don't worry. And there he will make his way down to Torian. Where we will hope for preferably 10 supers and a lot of missiles. The more supers you have, the less missiles you need, and the faster it also goes. Because the Metroids can be sometimes they can be quite trolly on the drops. Like they like to drop stuff, but they don't always drop the things you want. The supers, I mean. Like now. We still have, this is the second metro room, we still have 2 to go. Third metro room here. Don't like the supers. We have enough missiles to compensate, so I'm not worried in that sense. We have the last room here. You can actually do a strat here by killing the 2 first Metroid and do not kill the third one and then go in and out of the room. And don't worry, the drops just fine. No need to worry at all. You see here, Jaychalke in the worst room of the game. Freezing the pirate there and wall jumping off him, no problem. You can see he kills the top pirates there by just using 1 shot because the diagonal one hits twice. Because the first hit actually freezes the pirate and the second one actually kills him. And we're having a Metroid skip, baby skip here. Setting up for it. It's a cool... Oh, sadly, no. Nearly got it, nearly got it. But yeah, you can actually skip the baby Metroid by doing pretty accurate jumping and get the momentum right on the baby Metroid, which is pretty big, actually. Then you can actually reach the door without... and skipping that life draining phase. And with that actually skip the need to go here and refill. Jaychalke making his way into Wasteland. Mr. A into the mother brain room. No problem with the zip skip there. Let's see. One missile got sniped by the snipers there. Snipers can be quite trolly, but he has plenty of ammunition, no problem at all. While Jaychalke picking up the power bombs that is actually known as the power bombs of shame. Don't worry, don't worry. Works out. We'll see. Mystery going here for the charged plasma wave ice beam combo, dealing 900 damage each shot. And the Mother Brain's kitchen are open with meatballs and ketchup. So this is an interesting combo there. Even more ketchup there. And there. Scary party's over, and we got the rainbow beam sequence while Jay is farming. Oh, there we have another meatball and onion rings. What a mix of delicious things from Mother Brain's kitchen today. And Jay is making his way into Ridley. I'm hoping Ridley is behaving today. I demand him to behave. He's been a bad boy. Yeah, I don't think there was any fries, actually. Just to say that. We might see fries later on. Still have a little the phase 3 here. We might see some fries. We have some more onion rings. While Ridley is just complaining about the food quality. Baby thump. And there, I got the hyper beam, and then we have more onion rings. And Ridley is dead. Quite the boss excitement here at the same time. Let's see if we can get some fries, please. I think Mother Brain can be quite stiff in his in her neck tomorrow. Oh, we got a meatball on the end as the topping there. There was no French fries today. But I'm so happy that both of our runners haven't died at all. And Mother Brain's kitchen is now on fire. Escape immediately. Gotta be careful. You're not trying to use water to cool down the hot oil, you know. It can catch on fire. Gotta be careful. Get the spark there. Escaping Wasteland, making his way up Lower Norfair. Doing the spark, no problem on the right side. Making his way up parlor. And he's done. Sweet. That is nice. His timer is showing 55, 40, 61. I do not, due to the some small changes we had to do due to timing things, I do not have the exact time yet. Try to... Well, Jaychalke is now making his way into Norfair on his way to G4. And I will... Wait, I will do this, by the way. That... This is 57. Wait. We need to do some calculation first. Now we'll get the time. Well, Jaychalke is making his way up. I think the timer is pretty accurate. By the way, so GG. If you do his timer, he is 3 minutes of PB, and that is nice. Congratulations on the win here today. And do not think it's all over. There's a lot more of excitement coming up later on. So do not worry, you will not be bored this evening. Jay making his way up Meridia. Can make a little short saying waving hi to Brinstar before he's taking the elevator up to Criteria. Gonna make his way through this little hole and through the gate. And we should all follow the runners, everyone. They've given us a lot of excitement today. And I'm so excited to see Monorail's kitchen again. I hope we will see some French fries. None of our runners has died yet either. That's so nice. This category is not without its risks, especially at the bosses. Dear Force. That lovely logo. $24% items. See you next mission. While we watching that, Jay is heading down to G4. I will just say a few things. At 4 p.m. Eastern Time, we will have another Super Metroid match between Mr. Guy Average and Galen83. Don't worry. I'm just gonna look at the clock thing. That is in just 2 hours, I think. A little bit less than 2 hours. If I'm not totally wrong. And after that, we have another match between 2 matches at once, actually, at 6 p.m. with Mr. Guy Average again and GD Face. And we have one with Krauser and Manicle. See here, Jay is waiting on the statues there. And we have one at 8 p.m. between Hero and Karen Canoe. And then at 9 p.m. we had Ivan and Cashmod. That's what excitement we have in store for today. And don't worry, there will be no time to get bored this weekend. There's a lot of matches today, tomorrow, and on Sunday. You see how the Metroid is literally not the Metroid, but actually the drops is the most interesting part of the early part of Torian. Jay has actually 3 packs of supers and a lot of missiles, so I'm not that worried. That means the snipers should be nothing to worry about. Because those turrets at Mother Brain can be quite the snipers when they want to. They were no match for Azuly, and I guess there will be no match for Jay either. Fine on drops, nothing to worry about. And you can see here, Jay is actually facing right. That means what is actually fun is that a kind of cool thing is that the game has no pose for Samus, like going from that kneeling position and to a standing, like the race, like the racing of Samus from the kneeling position and up. So if you face right there, but only facing right though. So if you face right, you actually save 40 frames. But if you face left, then the game actually has the animation and will use 40 frames to play it off. Not that 40 frames matters though, but that's why we're talking about facing left and facing right at if you get grabbed by the baby. Saving 40 frames always matters. That can be the difference between a PB and no PB, you know. This game is running at 60 frames per second, so it's nearly actually a second. It's like a 3-second save. Jay had no problems getting the Seb skip. The Seb skip is a trick by that you freeze the bottom Rinka, then you jump on him. No, literally, you freeze the bottom Rinka, then you get damage. So we have iframes. Then you want to spin jump and land on the Rinka, because then you get pushed into the wall with 1 pixel, and that makes you able to jump through the Sebetites. And because the game is coded in a way that it actually is only 1 Sebetite in the room, it's actually moving left. That's why there's no more Sebetites. And Mother Brain's kitchen is now opening up. And I wonder what she has in store for us today. For this meal, there we have the first meatball. Oh, a second meatball. Oh, a third meatball. Jade bombing them with no problem. Another meatball. And there we got some ketchup to have on top of the meatballs. And even more ketchup. Nice dodging there. And Jay has this in the bag with no problem at all. He's taking damage here, which is a good idea because you want to be, you need to have at least 301 energy, but you preferably want to have less than 400 when it comes to any percent, that is. And that is due because then this sequence starts right after the first rainbow beam. If you have more than 400 or 399, more than 399, I think, then it's actually then Mother Brain will shoot more stuff at you before starting this last sequence. And yes, there was no onion rings, there was no french fries, only meat and ketchup. We will see, we might. I still want to see those french fries, those. We haven't seen french fries yet. But we have that last little chance now. So, will there be no crying right now since there was no onions? Jay getting the hyper beam. Got some more meatballs. And we got onion ring. Oh, just a few though, not many. A few more here, but don't worry. Yeah, hasn't get hit yet. Pretty nice there. He's opting to do the strat, but oh, he got hit. But don't worry, it's a lot of health. But we saw no french fries at all. He actually opted to not stand in the corner. That technically reduces lag by standing closer. It's a cool thing. And the kitchen is on fire again, and we got to escape. Don't play with the hot fryer, you know. It's dangerous. Getting the spark, no problem. Oh, there we have there we actually had our french fries from Space Pirates though, but you can take those. It works as a substitute for today. And we see a right side spark up the climb. Yes, no problem making it up. No problem making it up. The climb and Parlor making his way into the landing site. Will we see 109? Oh, I see some trolling here. He's going the wrong way. What is he doing? Oh no, he's going down the hole. He's going down. He's going down to Bomb Chorizo. What might be hiding here? Is he only gonna troll us? Or is he? No. Oh. And he saves the animals. So yeah, for those who doesn't know this thing, you can actually save the animals by going down here during the escape, like you saw Jaden. You can actually see the animals later. I will tell you when. And he will now make his way out again. Huh? Oh yeah, he's gonna turn off the high jump boots because it throws him off at the jumping, and that's fair. Because you normally only do the Alcatraz escape without high jump. And there Jay is making his way out to the landing site. And there he's off. And if you watch closely right now, when the planet is now exploding, after it's exploded, right before now, we can see like a little white dot. They're gonna fly to the side. Just wait. And it depends on when I'm synced in, but it's about now, I think. Just when you see the planet in the background and you can see the ship going towards you, watch at the right side. You see a little blip going there to the right. There you can see that you actually saved the animals. So GG to both our players for finishing up the race, and that is awesome. And thank you everyone for thanks both the runners for playing. I have some preliminary times of the winner had a 55 40 61 and Jay had a time of 1:11:12. They are only preliminary at the moment. Don't take them like as solid stuff. But both of you did a very good job. I'm very happy about both of yours performance. We had both our players made it to the end. That doesn't always happen. And that makes for more excitement in Mother Bane's kitchen. And do not forget, the next match up is between Mr. Guy Average and Galen83 at 4 p.m. Yeah, EST that is. Whew. That's a lucky thing, Jay. Your Snish decided to crash. It's just tired. Oh. Don't take my times that literally. You know what I mean. But yeah. So yeah, this was an awesome race. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for the participants. And stay tuned for more action at later on at 4 p.m. You can see the schedule here. The next match will be happening at Speed Gaming 4, actually.